Hi, I'm Jessica Bonacore from Richie Sales, and here we are with the amazing Sharon Sherman of Time and Place. And Sharon, you and I have worked together for a while now, but I actually don't know, about the early years of your interior design business. So I'd like to hear a little bit more about how you got into interior design in some of those earlier years.
Well, I am a cradle interior designer. I know there's a lot of people who have come into this industry from other realms of business, and I actually went to school for interior design. And I worked in a large furniture store for a while, and I realized that I needed something a little more than just furnishings. So my first job out of school was working for a kitchen and bath design firm. And that was really where I started. And then I slowly but surely brought in interior design. So I changed it from just kitchen and bath design to really being the scope of the whole home. The lighting, the floor covering, the wall covering, the furnishings, the beautiful decorative accessories, as well as the cabinetry. And then after 20 years, it was time for me to get my own place, and Time and Place Design was born.
Very nice. So you've built a career that really goes beyond the client projects into writing, speaking, some industry events, education. How did that side of your business really start to take shape beyond just the interior design business?
So, because I am a unicorn, because I am this intersected blend of both kitchen and bath and interior design, I started having interior designers come to me and say, we'd really love to do kitchens. How do you do kitchen and bath? How is it successful? How have you integrated into your business? Then I have the kitchen and bath side that says to me, oh my gosh, you do furniture, you do lighting, you do all of these things. Like, how do we do that? How do we blend that into both worlds? And my point is this: if you are a designer of any sort, first of all, I really want to get rid of the word, I'm an interior designer, I'm a kitchen and bath designer, this designer. We're all designers. You know, you have a specialty in lighting, but your lighting is part of the design. So I really would prefer to be considered an umbrella. And we just all have our special passions and our special niches that we bring all of this design into. And that's really how it started. So I started speaking to how can interior designers be successful with kitchen and bath? How can kitchen and bath designers be successful with interior design? I'm not a lighting designer, but I have friends who are, right? And I think it's really the ability to find your tribe, to find your people that will come together and collaborate with you and work with you. And that's what I started talking about. And I have a lot of opinions. So then I started writing about it.
Okay.
And I have to give all credit to Jane Dagny, who is now of High Point by Design, but Designers Today magazine. She was the first person to give me any sort of spot outside of the kitchen and bath world in her magazine. And that kind of kicked it all off.
Right. You just need one. You just need
You
one
just
person.
need one. You know, they always say there's one lucky break. She was my lucky angel.
Okay.
That decided to tell the interior design world about who I was and what I was doing.
Very nice. And I love the fact that there's no competition between you and your peers that come to you in the interior design world.
There shouldn't be. When I first started, it was like, oh, I'm not telling you how I do that.
Right.
I'm not telling you. I just recently I asked somebody where they got something. They said, I'm not sharing that source with you. And I'm like, why not? That doesn't make any sense.
No,
That doesn't elevate our industry at all. I believe as designers, interiors, lighting, technology designers, we are the forefront of health and wellness in the home. And that home is what nurtures us. And that's what's going to help us be healthier moving forward. Whether it is designing a healthy kitchen, whether it's having the proper lighting and lighting schemes and understanding the color of light and the value of light. We all operate with the exact same design principles. They're basic to any design. And once it moves out beyond that, it really becomes our style and our voice that makes a difference in how we present what we do.
I love that. I love that. So beautifully well said.
Thank you. But that's what I believe.
Yeah.
You know, that's not just a tagline. That's not just a buzzword. That is what I really feel matters in this world.
And I think that the fact that you can hone in on that really makes you that even more valuable designer because you know who you are. You're not trying to be a million different things.
I did. There was a time when I was younger. I was like, oh my gosh, what should my POV be? What should my design voice be? What style should I design in? How should I dress? How should my hair be? And I was a mess. And I just said, you need to be who you are because the right people will find you and you will find the right people. So the right clients are going to gravitate to you. I will tell you, I have the most amazing clients. People always talk about, oh, I have these horrible clients, they're so difficult. My clients are absolutely outstanding. I couldn't ask for better
I think that
clients.
that's a big testament to you, though, because, like I said, you're sure of who you are, and
Yeah, and I know if I'm not a good match. And I will
right.
say to
That's a.
somebody, this is a fabulous project. I don't think that I can give you the project that you really deserve.
I think that really comes with experience and
Yes.
confidence in
Yes.
you. And if you were going to tell a designer that is new, starting off, a one piece of advice or something that you learned from that you wish that you learned earlier.
Stop trying to be somebody else. There's a very famous saying, be yourself, everyone else is already taken. And I've used that in several presentations that I have made. Um, or always be a unicorn unless you can be somebody else. And if you can't be somebody else, be a unicorn. And I think that's what's really important, because otherwise everything will look the same. Everything will be homogenized. There won't be personality, and there won't be the story of your life. So I look at design as your home really is telling your story. It's the story of who you were, where you started, where you are now, who you've become, and who you aspire to be. And if you can look at your design sense and scenario for your clients that way, you can look at your own design point of view the same way. When you first start out, you might not know everything, but learn every single thing that you can. Don't say, oh, I don't do that. No, I don't want to learn about kitchens. No, I don't want to know about construction. Oh, I don't really care about the systems, the heating, ventilations. You need to know all of it. And I think that's one of my success stories, is that because I've been willing to learn all of those things, I'm very valuable to my contractors as well. So they can call and say, oh my gosh, this thing is in the way of that thing that you want to put there. And we just had it. A speaker was placed in the wrong spot. And I was like, what are we going to do? And I'm like, well, we're going to design around it, and we can fix that. And this is how I think we can do it. And then my contractor will say, that's a great idea. How about if we look at it like this? And I think that's really the most important thing, is having the knowledge and then being able to think on your feet.
I love that you're saying that, because I always try and be an extension of the designer's business. I'm not here to, show you a light fixture and say how beautiful it is, but I want to help support you.
Right.
I want to make your life easier. I want to help with the lighting layout, or, tell you what scale would work best.
Yes.
And make people that are maybe specifying lighting for the first time or earlier in their years, make it easier for them and give them the confidence.
Yes.
I will educate you and walk through and help with the recessed lighting, or design a custom fixture and come walk the house with you. And
which we did.
Yeah.
We did that on the Queen, right? Where I'm like, what size do we really need here? What would be the right scale? And you're like, I have you. And I think when somebody has your back, it's always for the outcome, for the best. That's the best for the client. It's not what's best for the designer, because you're going to leave that house, or you're going to leave that apartment, or you're going to leave that whatever yacht. I actually designed a yacht. You're going to leave that space, but that client's going to come down those stairs every day into that home. And you want them to feel comfortable. You want them to have it be a reflection of you, and you want them to love the space that they live in.
I love it. I love it. So you've been coming to High Point Market for
a long time. Before you were married, I think. How long are you married now? I've been coming a long time, and I come for different reasons.
I was just gonna ask.
I come to see, what are these gorgeous new finishes? What are we doing with materials? Like, you have some amazing materials. I'm just looking around before, I'm like, oh my gosh. So materials, finishes, colors, obviously. Look at all these gorgeous colors. What is coming in? How are we using artisanship? How is that being brought into furnishings? Because once it goes into furnishings, it's coming into a kitchen and bath space, whether it's work from home space, whether it is a beautiful library, and we're in a gorgeous library of 2 phenomenal light fixtures for. All of those things, you're going to see how it's going to translate into what might be the next feel that you want to bring for a client. I do not believe in trends. I think trends is a 4-letter word, even though it's not. So I really prefer trends not to be a word. But I just think movements and feelings and inspirations and looks is not really a word either, but it's just what's happening out there. I think you said scale, right? Light fixtures are getting bigger, or they're getting really small. I find that really interesting, and how that translates into, here's a big word, juxtaposition, how that turns into that design tension that you have in a space, and how they all work together. And when you see it here, you can really see it. You know, you can't tell what things are if you're not touching them or feeling them from the computer. I'm sorry, I just
Yeah, no.
you can't.
Lighting is hard, especially with scale, and there's just details and beauty about the fixture that
Yes.
you can't get.
The
You know,
sparkle you're not going to
yeah,
see
and I
on
can
a screen.
speak or give you all the confidence in the world, but sometimes you just need to see it. And
Yeah.
you
I
know,
want to touch the crystal. I want to touch the glass. I want to see what
exactly.
this metal feels like because I'm very, very tactile oriented. So I touch everything, which sometimes people are like, what is she doing? But I'll even touch the paint on the wall to see how the walls feel. And that's just because that's what design is to me. Like when you get into bed at night, you're touching that fabric and you're moving it back to be able to slip under the covers. When you're opening a cabinet, you're touching that piece of hardware. How is that going to feel? The tile. My client, we found wall covering. She goes, I have to have this someplace that people just are going to go up and touch it. And I think that's really a big part of it. And we're missing that. We're losing that between the connection of the designer and the screen. And that's why I think things like showrooms and High Point Market and all of these type of venues are so very important.
Yeah, I agree. Everything's become so digital, and we still crave that human interaction, that personal interaction, the
The first thing that
materiality.
I did when I saw you was what?
I hugged
I
you.
hugged you.
Right. So true.
You cannot hug a bot.
Very true.
Your
Very
bots can help you find things,
true.
but that human connection is still very important in design, I believe, and I think everybody else believes it too.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Well, let's go look at some new stuff. Let's go
Yes.
touch and feel.
Let's
Thank
go
you so
touch and
much
feel.
for sitting here. And
Thank you for speaking with me.
of course, of course. Let's go look at the new stuff.
Okay.